All right, so today we're going to talk about your mindset and is it enough? Why you don't feel ahead of time if it is enough or isn't enough, even when you are set in a good spot mentally. I'm going to start this off with asking you guys all a question. Have you ever hit a goal, small or big, and instead of celebrating that goal and feeling proud of what you accomplished or what your team accomplished, you immediately thought to yourself, okay, what's next? I just climbed this mountain. I just ran 50 miles for a month. I just said all these things. And instead of allowing myself a moment to celebrate, like, yes, I did it. You know, we just set this record. We closed X amount of loans. I did X amount of lawns. I had X amount of new clients that came in. Personal, health, work. I don't care. Relationship, 20 years of being married, 25 years of being married, whatever it is. Did you allow yourself to actually celebrate it? Did your mind let you actually go, good job? Or, and this happens to a lot of people, did you think, what's next? Maybe even worse than what's next. Was it good enough? I could have done better. My goal was 10. I did 10. Why did I do 11? You know, this goes way back. I'm going to pick on my dad for a second. And I know he meant it with all the love in the world, but I could come home with a B+ and there's room for improvement. I can come home with an A- and there's room for improvement. I don't know if I would have gotten 100%. Actually, I'll probably call him out right now. So Dad, if you're listening to this, if I got 100%, his question may have been, was there extra credit available to offset the 87 that you had in your previous test? Now, I know because I know my dad, it came from right here. It was heart. It was love, encouragement, push, grind, get up, go get it. Because he knows the world is tough and it's going to kick you in the face, right? But a lot of times what that does, or what we do to ourselves, is that your mindset, guys, it's such a powerful tool. I swear to God, you can talk yourself into being sick, and sometimes you can talk yourself into feeling better. So did you let yourself celebrate the win? Or did you say, what's next? Or was that even enough? Could I have done better? Like on the previous episode, we talked about scarcity. It says you'll never have enough, right? Or the abundance mindset that says there's plenty to go around. A lot of times when you're going through and you have these different goals with your mind messes with you. Your mind quietly destroys your confidence, the results, and the purpose. You never feel like you are enough at times. And I run into this. So I mentioned this 5 years ago that I started consuming all these books, audiobooks, podcasts. I started trying to watch different things. All, you know, if I wasn't reading it out of a paperback, when I went out on the road, I called it my online university. I realized that the negative me was never satisfied with anything. If I lost 5 pounds, why not 10? You lost 5 pounds. Why did you gain 5 pounds? You run a mile in 5. Why didn't you do it in 4:50? That's not just me. That's everybody. And I think some people have the ability to shut it up a little bit better, but a lot of times it's like you never feel like you are enough. If you're new to the channel, guys, once again, welcome. I really appreciate you tuning in to Elevate with Enbody. I'm your host, Tim Enbody. The last 25 years of my life, I've had the opportunity to be in sales, to coach sales, to be in the top segments of a lot of different sales positions out there, and I absolutely freaking love it. But I'm not going to lie to you. My mindset has gone to the shitter more than once. I am challenged all the time with picking myself up, dusting myself off, and getting back after it. Some days I have a great day. I mean, I can walk in the office and Chaz is like, boom, 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 let's get this done. And some days I feel like somebody just gave me a shit sandwich and told me to like it. And then Chaz's like, dude, what's up? You know, sometimes you need to have people in your life, your wife, my dad, you know, my marketing team. We sit back and sometimes we pick each other up because our minds, guys, it's a powerful thing, good and bad. So you have to figure out ways to speak the truth that nobody admits out loud. There are people listening right now who are crushing it. And I'm so happy and I'm so proud of you. And I know for one thing, it's not luck. It's because you work hard. You work on your mindset. You work on abundance. You work on all these things with a consistency. You're growing. You're improving. You're building a brand. You're building a business along with your life, but you don't feel it. You don't always feel like you're winning, right? On paper, you are, but in your mind, sometimes you feel like you're losing your own mind. Sometimes you feel like, if I'm having all these successes, is it guilt? Do you feel guilty that you have success? Is it because somebody else isn't having the success that you're having. So you kind of shrink down in the shadows a little bit instead of standing up and letting people see what you're doing. I'm not talking about being an asshole either, guys. I'm talking about being real and letting yourself enjoy your successes and letting your mind tell you it's okay to be successful. So go home tonight and better yet, bust out some note paper and figure out what is enough, what isn't enough, not enough progress, not enough results. Is it not enough for you or is it not enough for somebody else? Your mind is playing tricks on you. Your circle might be impacting that. Let's not talk about strategy of talking about it. Let's start figuring out ways that we can deal with the old fears wearing on you so we can move into the new opportunities. So we're going to go into segment 2 right now. The battle behind the success. If you've ever said, and I like this one a lot, I thought I'd be further by now. I wish I would have started way back a year ago so I could see where I'm at. If I never had quit the gym the first place, if I would have gone to the gym 7 years ago and just kept on that diet, what would I feel like? What would I look like? That's not how life works sometimes. Sometimes when you guys get kicked in the teeth, I know for me especially, sometimes I go into an opportunity, put my mouth guard in because I know I'm about ready to get my ass kicked. But what should you be doing? Because you know that your mind has to work through this. I should be doing more. I don't want to let anybody else down. They're not fighting the same battle as millions of other ones, right? There's the high performers. They're lucky. No, you got to punch in, guys. And that battle isn't always about money or fame. It's not about followers and likes. It's not about production always. It's about worth. The worth that you feel for yourself, the mindset you feel, that's the key. You don't fix that by working harder. You fix it by healing the part that you still believe needs to earn and be more than what you are. I'm not talking about being a better person either. I'm talking about knowing what's really enough for you. And I'm not talking about growing beyond enough. I'm talking about enjoying it. So when you have it, you actually get to take a step back and enjoy. I'll give you guys a personal story right now. So I'm always looking to get healthier. I'm trying to stay on this path. And we're looking to get a potential sauna for our home. And I'm talking about the traditionals versus infrared and the short wavelengths versus the long wavelengths and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going through this. I'm talking to a couple different salespeople, red light therapy and all these different things I'm learning. And I'm realizing how good it is for you. And I'm having this conversation with my daughter. I'm talking to my wife, and my son's like, dude, that's a waste of money, Dad. We know we could go on a hunting expedition with that kind of money. And my wife's like, oh, I think it's a great idea, but are we really in a position to buy that? And my daughter's like, Dad, this is great for you. This would be good for your cardiovascular health and blah, blah, blah. And I'm doing all this research in my mind, and you can laugh out loud. It's okay. I said to myself, the current position that I'm in physically, health-wise, why didn't I do this years ago? Where my wife is thinking, where will we be tomorrow if we start doing it? Tomorrow could be a better day for us. And my mind immediately went to yesterday and why I didn't do this sooner for myself or my family. Sometimes enough is just never going to be enough. It's going to stop you from growing. It doesn't mean that you lose your drive. It doesn't mean that you settle, even though some of us do. Enough means your value a lot of times truly isn't tied to your latest win or how people applaud you. Or do you even applaud yourself? It doesn't matter about the number that's coming on the board this month either. Enough means that your worth is already intact. It means that you already believe in yourself and that you feel the value that you bring to the table is enough to help the consumer that you're working with, your wife, your daughter, your sons. It's not talking about the hustle that turns into the purpose, your growth that turns into gratitude, your ambition that stops you from feeling like you're in survival mode. It's about the mindset. Real people, real pressure. Think about pressure we put ourselves in, in all your industries. Give me an example. What emotionally hit you hard this month or last month? If you're a loan officer, I closed 10 loans, but it still wasn't enough. I could have closed 12. A couple deals fell out, underwriting gave me a bad condition, blah, blah, blah. If you're an agent that has their best month ever, but still feels like they're behind for some reason, someone else did better. Maybe you're a small business owner that's building something incredible, but you secretly feel like everyone else has it figured out already. How am I going to compete with them? scarcity or abundance. It's the mindset of being enough. Is one client worth the effort? And if you take care of the one, could that cause you to have 2, 3, 4, or 5? The silent comparison that we put on ourselves is sometimes so overwhelming. It's invisible. That invisible scoreboard, it steals your joy. If we turn around right now and I look at this board and Tim, 3, competitors, 100, that 3 takes care of my family. It takes care of my company, and I'm winning if I don't look at this part. But our mind looks at the 100 and says, gosh, I lost those opportunities. Maybe they were never yours. It doesn't mean that you can't take 3 and turn into 4 or 5, but you got to let the enough. You got to understand what your enough is, because it's going to steal your peace. And it's time to take it back. And that's what I want to hit hard on this next one. On this one, we're going to talk about the shift. Okay. Your life changes the moment you stop chasing, is it enough? And you start embodying that it is. Think about this. Being enough is not a finish line that you cross. It's the truth that you decide to believe and then live. Tie this into your own journey. Like when I started with Elevate with Enbody, we're still under 90 days. I did not feel like I was ready. I knew I wanted to be perfect, but I made the decision to go. Am I enough to start this? Will anybody enjoy it? Is anybody going to listen to it? That decision started reshaping my thought process. And eventually I just had to start, and I had to start telling myself I am. I am if it's just for 1. And if I'm lucky, there'll be 2. But I'm going to focus on those 2. And then I am enough for that. And then you continue to build. So here's your challenge, like I do for everybody. I want you to write down 3 things that you did in the last 30 days that you would praise anybody else for. Listen, that you would praise your son, your daughter, your wife, your coworker, one of your subordinates. Good job. Way to go. I'm so proud of you. But that you did, and then you decided that you weren't enough for. And then I want you to trick your mind, guys. Put it on your phone. Write it down. Put it on your mirror where you brush your teeth. Read it every morning. And remind yourself that you are enough. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're not lacking anything but confidence at times. You are the key. Your mind is super powerful, folks. You are enough. You're enough to grow. You're enough to build the business that you're dreaming of, to have the life that you want. And when you finally start to believe in that, it's amazing. And I get small little blips of this, but you feel like you stop chasing the validation. And I'm not going to lie, when I started this, what are we, episode 24? Before episode 1, it wasn't just, how am I going to look on camera? How am I going to sound? It's what are my peers going to think about it? What are my employees going to think about it? What are my family members going to think about it? What is the community going to think about it? Am I going to be some repurposed wannabe has-been? Or am I going to be able to bring any kind of value? Am I going to get validation? And last week we had the opportunity to, dear friend of mine, and that helps, I'm not going to lie, but have a guru from Grant Cardone speak on Be the First Guest. Chaz puts out a little blip on social, and we're going to have a guest coming up here in the near future, somebody that I paid money to go and listen to. This guy's amazing, by the way. I'm not going to drop his name yet, but I'm telling you, he is awesome at helping people build businesses with marketing and social. And he's going to be a guest on the show. In 24 episodes ago, I'm sorry. I'm like, is anybody going to check this out? Am I going to be enough for anybody? Am I going to get a message out there? And the reality of it is you can't if you don't start. The validation that I need from somebody else is great, but you have to, right here, you got to do it here first. You got to start walking with that purpose. You're no longer going to be driven by the fear of what not. And if you aren't, you're going to be driven by the meaning of you are. Until next time, keep elevating your business and your brand.